In the heart of the bustling city of New Haven stood an antique shop that seemed frozen in time. Its wooden sign, "Timeless Treasures," creaked softly in the wind, inviting passers-by to discover its mysteries. The shop was owned by Mrs. Hazel, an elderly woman with silver hair and eyes that sparkled with the secrets of ages past. One crisp autumn evening, a young boy named Max wandered into the shop. He was a curious child, always seeking adventures and tales of wonder. As he explored the cluttered aisles, his eyes fell upon a dusty old clock, nestled among relics of bygone eras. The clock was intricately carved with vines and flowers, and its face bore an inscription in a language he did not understand. Mrs. Hazel noticed Max's interest and approached him with a knowing smile. "Ah, you found the enchanted clock," she said, her voice a gentle whisper. "It is said to hold the power to travel through time, but it can only be used by those with a pure heart and a daring spirit." Max's eyes widened with excitement. "Can I try it?" he asked eagerly. Mrs. Hazel nodded and handed him a golden key. "Turn the key 3 times and think of a moment you wish to visit," she instructed. "But remember, time is delicate. You must return before the final chime, or you may be lost forever." With a deep breath, Max turned the key 3 times and closed his eyes, envisioning a scene from a history book he had read, a medieval castle bustling with knights and royalty. The clock began to tick loudly, and in a flash of light, Max found himself standing in the grand hall of a majestic castle. He marveled at the sight before him: knights in shining armor, ladies in elegant gowns, and a king seated upon a golden throne. Max wandered through the castle, absorbing the sights and sounds of the medieval world. He even made friends with a young squire named Thomas, who showed him around and shared tales of valor and chivalry. As the evening sun began to set, the clock in Max's pocket started to chime. Remembering Mrs. Hazel's warning, he bid farewell to Thomas and hurried back to the spot where he had arrived. With each chime, the castle began to fade, and soon Max found himself back in the antique shop, the enchanted clock ticking softly once more. Mrs. Hazel greeted him with a warm smile. "You have returned just in time," she said. "The clock has many more adventures to offer, but only for those brave enough to seek them." Max's heart swelled with excitement and gratitude. He knew that the enchanted clock held endless possibilities, and he couldn't wait to discover more. As he left the shop, he glanced back at Mrs. Hazel, who winked at him knowingly. From that day forward, Max visited Timeless Treasures often, each time embarking on a new journey through the pages of history. The enchanted clock became his gateway to worlds unknown, and Mrs. Hazel his guide to the wonders of the past. And so, in the heart of New Haven, the magic of the enchanted clock lived on, enchanting all those who dared to dream.